People of the world, welcome back to another episode of a mental warfare and release valve collaboration. Thank you for tuning in. Excited to be back, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing good, my man. I'm doing good. How you doing?
You know what? I can't complain. We got this podcast going on, and it's the beginning and the development of something massive and something huge, something that everyone should at least connect to, gravitate to. We went to a little family friend party last night, and it was everything that it needed to be in sense of being able to talk about the podcast, talk about mental warfare, and literally having the prime example of connecting and having community and bouncing ideas and experiences and struggles that we're all going through as parents. And it was just a beautiful moment to see that and to be able to actually live exactly what we're talking about, right? What we're trying to the message that we're trying to send out into the world. And
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, it was, and so we're here again, and here to talk about some more stuff. And so we hope that you guys tune in. Let us know what you guys think at the end of it. But we are what are we on?
Man, it's cool to hear that you had that type of moment with other parents and stuff. I feel like it's almost a given when you're a parent, right?
Yeah.
To be going through these type of struggles or
Yeah.
just to be struggling in some way, shape, or form. If nothing else, even if you have the perfect kids, man, it's still like you and I talked about getting the meals ready and
Yeah.
getting them ready
Yeah.
for shit that they got going on,
Yeah.
practices and games and scrimmages and all kinds of stuff, man.
And what what's crazy is that that one episode of Family Guy when Stewie is doing the mom, mommy, right? This was before having kids, and it was annoying then. But it's like I go back to that episode so many times because it's just like my name is being called so much. It's like daddy, daddy. It's like they need something all the time.
Yeah.
But obviously they're a blessing. But like you said, it's an everyday struggle. It's an everyday battle, right?
There's always
With these
something,
kids.
man.
I know they're all thinking that they know everything as well, and so it's, but yeah. So that's the name of the game, right? That's what we're all going through.
That's what,
Right.
yeah. I mean, most of us, right? Most of us are
Most of
parents
us, right,
and
right.
dealing with it. But,
Right.
we're not talking about those free-spirited assholes that don't have any kids and can do whatever the hell they want, right? They're not struggling.
Right. Hey, it's so funny because it's like, damn, like the time I don't have, right? It's like the time is just shrunk so much. It was just like, man, if I could have done this shit when I didn't have any kids, when I had more time, but I was an idiot, right? And it's crazy, but it's like that's the cycle of it all. You think that you have it down, and you know it all, and then you get to here, and then we're just like, oh shit, right? So I wish I would have done it a little bit better.
If I only knew then what I know now, right?
Right.
That's always how
Right.
it goes, though. That's that's the beauty of life, though, man. It's
Yeah.
it sucks in some way because you can't go back. It's not like a video game where you can just restart
Exactly.
it.
Right.
All right, now that I know what I'm
right.
doing, let me go back and try this
Right.
again, right?
Right.
You get the hang of the game, but that's the beauty of it because as far as we know, we only live once, and we're only here this one time, at least in this way,
Yeah.
and yeah, we only got one shot at it. So learn what you can when you can, and apply it to as many things as you can. And
Yeah, and I love that you said that because it provides a sense of humility, right? There's a lot of egos, a lot of pride and shit, and so it's hard for you to learn if you don't want to learn from any given person because age, race, religion, whatever, it doesn't really matter. If somebody has knowledge, that should be something that all of us should be open to, because it's part of our personal growth. It's a part of our development, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, we have to be open to learning, especially at this day and age, right? We're a little bit wiser now, right? We could have gone back and did it again. We would have done it a little bit differently, but now we need to apply those tools, right? That knowledge, and actually, do it over again, in the sense of, just trying to be the best that we can be right now.
Exactly.
Because we can't go back in the past, right? We can't live in the past. We just, have to, think about bettering ourselves for the future.
Exactly. I try to, it's funny. I want to say, I mean, being on the topic of being parents, I want to say it was having my daughter, having my own child that really started to make me look at things a little differently. And it wasn't at first either. It wasn't like right off the bat. As soon as I was holding my baby, I was like, my entire world is different, right?
Yeah.
It was more, I mean, I had my special moments, but there was more things here and there, things that that kind of repeat themselves, and you come back to moments or just feelings or mindsets and type of thing. It was that circle back afterwards, and I would get into a certain situation. I'm like, ooh, I feel a little different now. I look at things a little differently now. You know what I mean? It's it's
even
funny.
Cartoons and television shows, even the same ones that you used to watch before being a parent, you look at those differently.
How inappropriate so many things are now.
Right.
Like, I look at it like, you can't watch that.
Right.
Oh, man.
Like, they were saying this shit as we were kids. It's but so, but yeah, but that kind of leads into, the topic of, being wiser and having tools, and, finding ways to release that warfare that we have going on. And, we wanted to talk about handstands, right? And, and that is one of the things that we do, as a unit, and one other friend of ours, Ryan, and we've been doing it for kind of a long time now. I go back on videos and I'm like, yo, it's been a few months since we've been standing.
Quite a few months. It was it was before the winter time. It was definitely, I want to say, fall, maybe even the end of summer last year.
Yeah.
That we started getting on it, because I remember having to I couldn't do them outside anymore. It was getting too cold, and it was getting, snow and stuff like that. So and at that point we were already into it for a little bit. So I would say we're creeping up on we're probably like 8 or 9 months that we've been doing it.
Yeah. And this is in hopes for, everyone that watches and that's participating in this, to join us on this mission, on this quest.
Well, before
on this journey,
how did we get going on handstands? Let's go on.
Well,
first off, let's give a shout out to Ryan, right?
Yeah, sure. Ryan Takao, my man. Met him at the Y, and so I saw him a couple of years ago, the same Y that I train at, and he was doing handstand training, like on these dumbbells, right? And so he was like handstand, like he was like against the wall. You know how I do him on the wall, yeah. But he was like on the wall, against the wall, and he had different level dumbbells, and he was stepping with his hands on each of these dumbbells, and it was like a pyramid, and so it went up and went down. And so that's what initially caught my eye, and that was like a couple of years ago, right? And one day I went up to him and I was like, man, like that's really cool, like that's really dope that you can do that. And I saw him doing a handstand walk, and after that, I hadn't seen him in a couple of years, right? Life happened, and he wasn't the Y, and whatever was going on with me at the time. And a couple years later, I ended up seeing him at the Y again, and we got to talking, right? And then we connected. I can't even tell you how we connected so strongly, but we connected, and I remember him doing handstand walks, and like me wanted to learn how to do handstand walks, right? And so like as a brotherhood, we started doing handstands together, right, as a way to release the stress that that and the stress that we're having, because handstands are actually physically healthy.
Gives
It's
you
good for your body and your mind.
difficult task to focus on and strive.
Right.
And yeah.
Right. So it's a type of relief. After you do handstands.
Why was he doing handstand training?
He was doing handstand training because he was going through a rough time at that time, and he wanted or one of his family members was going through a rough time rather. And I don't want to speak too much on his story, but he said that he wanted to do something that was tough, that was challenging, right? Something that was hard to assimilate what his family member was going through, right? To feel like how challenging it was for that person to be going through what they were going through.
Sure.
And so he got somebody was helping him, but he got to the point to where he was walking. And so
Crazy.
I mean, as you've seen it, it was incredible. And so
He's good,
we started,
man.
we reconnected and stuff like that. And I knew that you did handstands. I remember you used to be able to do handstands, and I'm like, you know what, let me bring Sean into this, let me see, try and encourage, so we can encourage each other. And I mean, doing this for 8-9 months now, I mean, obviously it's been helping. So yeah, that's how the handstand group got started. And basically my motto behind it is, standing against the enemy and walking in faith. Because we are going to have our days, our times, our moments throughout the day to where we're just overwhelmed with negative emotions, angry emotions, and a way to release it is exercise. Handstand is a great way to focus your energy on something, like you said, and trying to channel that energy somewhere elsewhere, rather than keeping those feelings and emotions in, right?
There's something about physical activity, right? When you got a lot on your mind, or you're stressed out,
it's so flushing.
There's something about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all energy though, right? And so
That's
we're able to get
right?
that. Yeah, it's all energy, and so you're able to, like we said, just channel that energy and release it in a way that's healthy.
Yeah.
And and after you do it, you've got the energy out, and now you're kind of like flushed. You're like no more relaxed. Because the energy.
I'm never angry after doing a workout.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm never angry that I did it. Maybe you're sore or something like that, but there's never. Yeah, I'm never in a bad mood. So it's funny that you said that. You're
probably in a good mood, almost in a good mood.
Legit, man. I'm almost. It sounds kind of funny, but you almost get this natural high type feeling.
Yes.
Like high on, that phrase, high on life, right? But that's what.
Exactly.
That's kind of what it feels like, man.
Man, when you get to a certain point of conditioning too, because I like the bike, right? But the bike is my thing, and when I get to when I get to a certain minute, right? It's just like I just zone out, bro. It's just like you just zone in, zone out, and then at that I call it my dream station, especially even though I haven't been getting up as early as I would like to get on the bike, but I call it my dream station. Because when I get on the bike, especially when the lights are dimmed, I get on the bike and you got the music going, the music's blasting in the headphones, and you're vibing, right? And you can just drift off and dream. I mean, that's all I do is just dream about the future, and trying to be better, and just dreaming about a life that all of us should be living, right? If if you just become aware of what's going on. And being able to band together and connect, and just understanding that we're all created to be great in our own way, right?
Absolutely.
So, handstands.
Handstands, man. It was cool. Yeah, you came to the right person, man, when you hit me up about that. You know, I'm
Yeah.
into some weird random shit over the years, and and yeah, so getting into handstands really wasn't anything that I second guessed. It was like, all right, cool, yeah, let's do handstands.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
when you guys started telling me a little bit about it, and obviously seeing Ryan do it, it's really something, man. I almost can't get enough of it every time I watch him
Right,
do it.
right.
It's
And
so smooth and fluid.
What's
and the way
crazy is
he's.
right.
I love it because there are times when he does it that you see struggle in him doing it.
Yeah.
Right, his balance is a little off or something,
Yeah.
or somebody has a ball bouncing through the way or something like that, or something. There always seems to be something going on, and I love watching him push past those moments and still
Yeah.
getting those steps in even further, because there's been a few times you see him go down, gets a couple steps, and it's like, oh, he's not, he's got it,
Yeah,
all right,
and
there he
the
goes.
recovery be
And then he keeps
crazy,
going.
right?
It's like, how is he able to go that much further? Because me, a lot of times when I get into a moment of struggle and then I get past it, I almost get inside my head like, oh man, I did it. I moved past it. I
Yeah,
was working hard.
right.
And I got past it. And then I screw myself up because I'm out of the zone type
Yeah,
of thing.
right, yeah.
So the way that he's able to do that and just keep on going, man,
Right,
it
he
sounds
pushes through.
silly to say that watching somebody do a handstand walk is inspiring.
Well, the thing is, the subconscious thing behind it is, it takes work. It's not easy. You know that you can't do it, right? So that's
Exactly.
that's really what like envy comes from. I mean, we really should be inspired, and I say envy because inspiring and envy is very different, right?
Yeah.
Because envy it comes with jealousy and a negative connotation to where it's like, well, I can't do that, I wish I could, but that negative thought of like, well, I probably can or I can't, versus being inspired, being like, man, that shit is dope, like I'm about to do that too. Right,
Yeah, let me try
that's
that,
positive.
or, yeah,
right,
let
so
me work
there's
on
there's
that.
a different right. So there's a very big difference in the approach and the energy. When we're talking about envy and inspired, and that's the problem with the world today is we envy a lot of people, and we get into this social media world and this shit, right? Because everyone is trying to be someone that we're not, when we should be trying to find our own purpose and fulfillment and happiness, right?
Well, that's one of the main things that I'm always so back and forth when it comes to social media and just internet and stuff like that, man. Because there's obviously a lot of good that can come from it. I'm a research type of guy. I love looking shit up, and I love obviously moving so far away from where I grew up. I love being able to stay in contact with people, but I feel like social media, like things like Instagram and stuff like that, it can be so deflating and like, because when you play that comparison game, you see people and everybody looks like they're
Yeah.
happy and everybody's
Right.
got it going on, and
Right.
because you're
The
only seeing the
facade.
good times, right? Yeah, nobody's gonna
Yeah.
post themselves at sad times and post those times or the struggles and stuff like that. Some people do, but you know what I mean. A lot of it is just that those good times, happy times, especially with celebrities. You're always just seeing the good shit that they got going on, and
Yeah.
we're in the middle, like you said before. We're in the trenches. Not all of us have made it and are living those type of lives, but
Right.
when all you're seeing is that happiness from other people, if you don't have that gut check for yourself, if you can't be
Yeah.
happy for somebody else's successes without
Exactly.
comparing it to yourself and all the things that you don't have, or having that must be nice mentality type of thing,
Right.
it's a dangerous thing to be on, man. I don't know.
And that's and that's the thing, and that's the world as it is right now, right? And
Especially for
it's-
kids, right? If you don't have that maturity to know better.
yeah, and I think that's where it starts because it's huge, because that's where the confidence starts, right? And that's where you either
Acceptance.
get built or exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, and so it transitions into our adulthood, and we don't know how to handle shit. Like we're fragile on the inside, or we're hostile. Like it's the cycle of being insecure because
Insecure.
we didn't.
Insecure is huge.
However, for whatever it is, it appears didn't get it from our our parents. There's something that happened in the system, and we're all fucked because we're all insecure. Like we're just. I was thinking about that movie. In my intro, I talked about the Trolls movie, World Tour. Have you seen it?
I haven't. The kids have seen it though. I've seen
All right,
the
well,
little bits,
I've seen it. It's fantastic movie. You need to watch it.
All right.
My kids, they've watched like 10 times. But there's a part where Poppy, like, because positive Poppy, she's always like positive about everything. And there's just one scene there where she's not, and then like everything goes cold, like everything goes gray, black and white. And that's essentially what the world that we live in right now, right? We're in the jungle, like we're so stuck in our ways that we cannot see what's going on around us, and we're living a life of, on average, misery and depression, and everything is so surface level in this world. Everything is so surface level. There's so much depth to everyone, and the problem is that we're unable to get those emotions out. Where we can't express ourselves the way that we need to, whether it's the fact that we didn't get taught, or just because we're not vulnerable enough. A lot of us aren't, right? We have a guard up. We don't trust easy because of the way.
You could not pay me to be vulnerable 15, 20 years ago. You couldn't pay me to be vulnerable. I would have tried to fight you or something. I don't know. Like, it was not within me to open myself up in that way. You know what I mean? And that's a huge thing, to allow yourself to be vulnerable enough to open up and get to the root source of what you have going on. A lot of times, again, it's more so our mindsets towards things that is the wrong. That's what's wrong, right? And if you can get to what it is that that you were hanging on to for so long, and maybe have a different mindset towards it, or have a different vantage point of it, approach it a different way. And again, that comes back to, like we talked before, talking to somebody, opening up, and getting releasing. That other perspective, releasing, right? Get another person's perspective on something, and maybe that will allow you to realize that maybe you were hanging on to something for so long that you shouldn't have, or you were looking at it the wrong way, and you just carried that with you. Being vulnerable and opening up about insecurities, man, it's not easy. I don't mean to talk about it like it is, but it's so crucial when it comes to growth.
Refreshing. It's relieving.
It is, right? Man. It really is. I didn't realize how exhausting my way of thinking was until I grew up and matured a little bit and started looking at things differently, and was able to look back at how I used to go about things. And man, it was exhausting trying to keep up that ego all the time around everybody 24/7, just to be ready in case anything popped off, stay ready so I don't have to get ready. Exhausting way of living, man. And it's no way to live. Because you're not getting good quality relationships from anybody anywhere.
Right.
Mainly yourself, right? And it stems from you.
Yeah. Yep. And so the main topic is finding a way to release. The handstands is like a way to release, but it's more so the unity, right? It's the community within brothers and sisters, and trying to encourage one another to be positive, to be happier. Even then, right? We're still not as vulnerable as we can. We're not talking about actually how we're feeling. Like, how often does that happen, right? We're not going to actually talk about our deepest feelings, right? That's not going to happen, and that's
the deep ones.
I'll
talk about some feelings, but the deep ones.
Right. But that's where we're at, right? You got people that are depressed, and they're showing people otherwise, right? Now that's crazy shit right there. Like, that, what is that? Right?
Those are the ones that I worry about. is the ones that you don't see coming type of thing. Because, you know, there are those people that like to put business out there, and that's their way of coping, or, you know, whatever. They need to try to receive some sort of attention to make themselves not feel alone or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there are those people that kind of put their problems out there to the world, openly and willingly, unprovoked, you know. They just put it out there. And then you have those people, those silent sufferers, that you have no idea that they're going through anything.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that usually have it really deep, really, you know, like you said, those real deep feelings that, man, it's those scary ones, right?
Yeah.
But bringing it back to those handstands in Ryan, because this was exactly what we were just talking about, allowing yourself to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
This situation where the two of you were able to have that first conversation, Ryan's putting himself out there in front of people, doing these handstands, working out. Like, he had to have known that some sort of attention was going to get brought to it, right?
Yeah, but what's crazy is he doesn't really understand the capacity of how dope they really are. Like, I'm like, Ryan, like, I mean, because he did it for a different purpose, but like, I'm
it
like,
wasn't
Ryan,
for fame
like,
or attention.
Right. So when he does it, every time people just watch him.
You can't help it.
Right, and it's like, yo, like I enjoy that every time he does it. I love the way people watch him do it.
Yeah,
it's encouraging and inspiring, and like, I mean, I know he feels good after he does it too. You know, I hope. Right? I hope so too.
I hope, because it really is an amazing thing to see. And even in the few videos that you guys have sent, or you guys have sent a lot of videos, but a few of them, I hear people in the background coming up and talking to you guys, and, you know, asking, you know, what are you guys doing this for? What are you guys doing that for? And or when he's doing the walk, you hear people, you know, kind of, you sometimes you'll see people in the background kind of like, you know, hey man, check it out, look over here type of thing. Like, and so it's cool, man. I hope he does feel good about it, because one, he's really good at it. Two, it's not something that everybody can do. It is something that even people, you know, that are good at it right off the bat are going to have to work to get to the level that he's at.
Yeah.
And we know that in just the time that we've been seeing him do it, we've seen that much growth in him and being able to go further. Now it's almost at a point to where it's just like, man, you just need to just go. Because I feel like he's stopping himself at certain points.
Absolutely.
He gets to the camera and then he's like, all right, I did it type of thing.
Right, and like, he'll just hold it there.
Yeah.
Like, he could have easily gone at like 10 more yards for sure.
Yeah. So it's very inspiring, man. And I just seeing in videos, seeing people, the attention that it's getting, I already know that the more that we put it out there, the more that he keeps on doing it, the more that we do it, the more people that we get on board with it, man. It's really going to bring a lot of light to what he has going on. What we
and you know what? And I like that brings it to my attention. Hopefully for the people that are watching, that are tuning in, and that will tune in and can help us grow this community, right? Absolutely. Let's try and start these challenges. Let's continue like we're doing, and continue to put the handstands out, because there's no better way to release than exercise, right? Mm-hmm. Exercise in community, and then, you know, that's a great way to, you know, just to start something of trying to be better, right? To self-development, you know, personal growth. Let's continue to put these handstands out there, and people of the world, hoping that you guys join us in this journey for ourselves, you know, and trying to be the best that we can be, so we can be the best in our relationships, because time is limited, man.
It's going by so fast, man. It's going by so fast, bro.
And even the day to day, even like, you know, just certain shit during the day, you're gonna just take things for granted, you know, and it's just about trying to be present and aware, you know, a lot of the time, you know. But it's those everyday distractions, right, that just makes it that difficult, so it's just about making that effort and, knowing that, there's only one life that we can live, and we can't keep spending it, running in circles, living it unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so, yeah, let's release. Let's do handstands. Let's do other exercise. I'm trying to study calisthenics anyways. Trying to master the body, right? So I can be in control of everything, because we're all out of control, right? We don't know how to manage our emotions, our feelings. We don't know what to do with them. We don't know how to calm ourselves. We're all riled up. We're ready to fight. We're ready to get after it. We're ready to snap on whoever crosses us, right? And the patience is gone. Patience is lost just because there's no love in the world. And we're all built on love, right? We came into this world needing love. And it's just the fact that a lot of us in this world are misunderstood. We feel alone.
Yeah. We came into this world because of love, right?
Hey, we came in this world because of love.
Absolutely, man.
Yes, that's heavy. That's heavy right there.
Right? Because it's so
really
crucial,
heavy.
man. However you want to look at that, right? You're so right, man. We're all here. We're meant for more than the way that things are currently set up for us, and most of us have kind of just settled in to how things have been set up for us.
Settled in is a perfect way to say it. It's settled in, mediocre.
At best, and we got comfortable, right. And it's not a good comfortable, man. It's a comfortable that's hindering us from being our better selves.
Right.
And,
a lot of the successful people say that you got to get uncomfortable.
To.
You got to get uncomfortable. You got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I'm not sure who quoted that, but
Kyle Spain did it. Kyle Spain and Sean Hanlon said it right here. Mental warfare and the release valve. I don't care what anybody else says.
Oh gosh.
But no, man, it really is. That's why they call it growing pains, right? Because it's part of the process. Right. It's part of the process of growing and becoming a better person, man. Because it just makes life so much easier and more enjoyable when you're dealing with good people, you're being a good person, and that it's being reciprocated, you know what I mean? And you have these good relationships, you have a good community around you, you're helping, building each other up. I don't know everything, and you don't know everything, but together we know a hell of a lot more than we do by ourselves.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's come together.
That's the guard, and that's the guard, right? Exactly, and that's the guard that a lot of us need to put down, right? And enabling that to happen, right? Mm-hmm. Stop thinking that we know everything, and because we fucking don't, right? We there's still so much to learn. We can't get caught up. I mean, there's always growth. There's always room for improvement. And if we think that we know it all, we're limiting ourselves. So,
got to be a student of life.
Hey, there we go. Student of life. Hashtag that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, student of life, because it's knowledge, right? So,
absolutely. So, to bring it back around, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to bring attention to the fact that there are a lot of us out there struggling, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever it is. We want to come together. One of the things that we have done to come together, and a focus that we've had, is by doing these handstands. So. Again, if you guys like what we got going on, you want to see more of this, comment, subscribe, share. Let us know some things that you guys have going on that you want to talk about. Let us know if you want to come on here and talk about it. And we'd love to have you on and keep this, like we said, keep this going, keep it growing, and that's it, man.
We know it's not easy to be vulnerable, right? But that's the stage that we're trying to get to. That's the platform and the environment that we're trying to reach. We're not going through this alone, and we're not supposed to be. So tap in.
Exactly. I like it.
Thank you for watching.
Till next time. Bye, everybody.